The Geneva-Batavia Rivalry has been around for over a century and has proved to be a vital part of both programs.
Lloyd Carr, I'd been at a clinic and I listened to him, and some coach raised his hand and he said, Coach, what's one thing you need in order to start a program? And I listened to it and I'm thinking, maybe a quarterback, stud linebacker, an offensive, something like that. He says, no, in order to build up a program, you need a rivalry. And that's what Batavia's been. Batavia, I always said I love Batavia, and it's because it brings out the best in us. And that rivalry is, I think, critical for success for both of our programs.
Over the years, a few words have come to perfectly describe this matchup.
Intense would be the one word I would use.
I think the only way I can describe it is intense.
Intense.
Fierce. Every play, there's no taking a play off. Either side. It's hard fought, hard won every year.
Important. Very important. As high school sporting events go, it's a very, very important game for our kids.
One of the best parts of this rivalry is how it reaches past the football field.
I think it brings a lot of pride and enthusiasm. There's definitely a buzz in the community, I feel, during Batavia Week.
Batavia and Geneva are kind of special in our age because so many places have multiple schools and the sense of community kind of gets split, but Batavia and Geneva, one school, one town, and that's an awesome thing.
It certainly brings a sense of spirit about the high schools and for each of the student bodies and the faculty.
Each person involved with the history has their own favorite part of this rivalry.
I think Alex Picorni intercepting a pass in 08 to seal the deal at their place when we were both undefeated, or pretty close. It was for a conference championship.
Well, I've got to be honest. My favorite memory is winning. I was very fortunate during my era to be on the winning side.
I think it's the tradition. Anything that can, go on for 100 years just means something so special.
Time in the season, it's just a great game to get up for. It always has a playoff atmosphere. Our coaches and players always have a little extra focus because the two towns being obviously so close together.
Knowing neighbors that have been in the rivalry and knowing even friends on the other side of Batavia in the rivalry. So it creates, because of the proximity and how we know each other so well, it really creates an intensity that's unique.
With all of this information, George Sheets has found some of the most interesting facts about this matchup.
One of the earliest nicknames in our area was Batavia's, which was called the Vikings originally. And in the early 40s, Geneva High School picked up the name Vikings. And in the mid-40s, Batavia became the Bulldogs. Geneva has the longest winning streak in the rivalry, 19 years. And that's a record that will be very hard ever to beat, I think, in this era, this modern era we're in.
With the rivalry stretching so long, it is bound to have changed over time.
It's definitely shifted to a much more intense and heated rivalry over the years.
Especially in the last decade, I think I've seen some real intensity between the two schools when it comes to not just football, I think other sports as well, but there's something about football when you're really just playing one game a year, and it's just that kind of a sport, I think, that it builds that kind of spirit.
With another conference title possibly on the line, everyone is making their pick and getting set for the game.
It's almost like a flip of the coin. I think it's going to be a really tight, hard-fought battle this year because they're both really good teams.
The intensity of the rivalry. This is why you coach. This is why you play. To be in games like that, and not only is the rivalry, but it gets ratcheted up even more because there's just more at stake. There's probably there will be a conference championship, I think, involved if both of us could take care of our business ninth week. So I look forward to playing against the best. Any chance you get to play against the best, you're all in. Let's go.